Microsoft Defender for Cloud is a comprehensive cloud security solution designed to protect resources across multi-cloud, hybrid, and on-premises environments. Defender can help you reduce risk by proactively strengthening your security posture while also detecting and responding to cyber threats faster. In this demo, we'll see how Windows Server customers can start using Microsoft Defender to manage security for their servers, both on-premises and in the cloud. We'll cover features like file integrity monitoring and security assessments. We start in the Azure portal. We have a single Windows Server 2025 data center, Azure Edition virtual machine, deployed and running. In the search bar, we type Defender and select Defender for Cloud. On the Defender for Cloud page, we scroll down to the environment settings. This allows us to configure which functionality of Defender for Cloud is enabled for our subscription. So we open up and select the subscription. And in the Defender Plans page under Cloud Workload Protection, we select Settings next to Servers. This opens the Settings and Monitoring page. Here we enable which settings and monitoring we want for our Windows Server workload. The first thing we do is click Fix next to Endpoint Protection. This will make sure that any servers that are deployed that don't have a Defender for Endpoint on them will be onboarded with Defender for Endpoint. Luckily for us, Windows Server 25 does actually come with Defender for Endpoint enabled. We can also enable Defender for Endpoint to be automatically onboarded to Linux workloads should we have any in our subscription. Next, we go to File Integrity Monitoring and select On. Now, what File Integrity Monitoring does is it will monitor a set of files and folders that we've configured to see if any modifications occur to them. When we turn on File Integrity Monitoring, what it needs first is a log analytics workspace to work with. We pre-created one here called WS205 Law, and we add that log analytics workspace as a place for File Integrity Monitoring to record its data. So when we click Edit Configuration, we can see the default File Integrity Monitoring configuration, which we can see has several critical Windows registry keys monitored. File Integrity Monitoring also keeps watch over files like system.ini, win.ini, regedit, and others that might be exploited by a clever attacker. File Integrity Monitoring also allows us to be alerted if anyone actually changes these on this Windows Server computer. File Integrity Monitoring can also monitor important Linux files, which is less of an issue for us, as this is only a Windows Server deployment. Next, we're turning on Vulnerability Assessment for machines. This feature identifies software vulnerabilities and security weaknesses. By enabling this feature, extensions will be automatically deployed if needed. Next, we turn on the Guest Configuration Agent. The Guest Configuration Agent focuses on operating system configuration compliance and security baseline assessment and remediation. Now that we have enabled the security features we want, we click Continue and then Save. When we click Save, Defender for Cloud updates with the plan settings, and those plans are now applied. Now that the configuration is saved, we navigate to Workload Protections. And in Workload Protections, we can see that we have 1 out of 1 virtual machines protected. So what we can do here is we can scroll down to the bottom, and we can see Advanced Protection. And under Advanced Protection, there are 2 things we want to draw your attention to. One of them is Just-in-Time VM Access. That's a feature of Defender for Cloud that allows ports to be open temporarily when we want to make administrative connections to the virtual machine. Instead of manually closing open ports after performing administrative duties, with Just-in-Time VM Access, these ports are open only for a temporary amount of time and are closed automatically once the configured period has expired. The next thing we want to do is to look at our VM Vulnerability Assessment. This will tell us whether or not this particular virtual machine has anything to pay attention to. We see we've got affected resources and healthy resources, but there are vulnerability findings that need to be resolved, so we click on those and scroll into this dialog. In this page, we can see that we have a security check that say there are updates that need to be installed. We select that and can see each of the CVE IDs of the updates in question. So we navigate to our virtual machine and select Connect under Connect. Because Defender for Cloud provides us with just-in-time virtual machine access, we can have the relevant Windows Admin Center ports opened temporarily. We select Configure and request just-in-time for this particular virtual machine. Defender for Servers goes through and reconfigures the network security group rule to allow it to be accessible from the IP address that we're connecting from. Once that's done, we select Connect and the Windows Admin Center blade of the Azure portal opens. In Windows Admin Center, we scroll down to Updates. We can see all of the updates that need to be installed. We select Update All and then choose Install Updates. The updates are installed and the virtual machine restarts. In this video, we showed you how to use Microsoft Defender for Cloud to perform some basic security operations with a Windows Server 2025 IaaS virtual machine running in Azure. You can learn more and explore pricing options for Microsoft Defender for Cloud here.